Good morning. Every area of the immigration system, work, family and study, will be tightened up so we have more control. Skill requirements raised to degree level. English language requirements across all routes, including for dependents. The time it takes to acquire settled status extended from 5 years to 10. And enforcement tougher than ever.
Big blow for Indian students and workers in the United Kingdom. Visa rules are changing and not in your favor. Settlement time is longer, work options are tighter, and one major visa route is shutting down. Here's everything you need to know about the UK's immigration overhaul and how it hits Indians the hardest. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced strict new immigration rules under a fresh immigration white paper. These changes aim to control soaring immigration numbers, but they have sparked mixed reactions across the United Kingdom.
Good morning. Every area of the immigration system, work, family and study, will be tightened up so we have more control. Skill requirements raised to degree level. English language requirements across all routes, including for dependents. The time it takes to acquire settled status extended from 5 years to 10. And enforcement tougher than ever. Because fair rules must be followed, conducted on a country that voted for control. Party conference, taking back control, is a Labour argument. Now, make no mistake, this plan means migration will fall. That's a promise. But I want to be very clear on this. If we do need to take further steps, if we do need to do more to release pressure on housing and our public services, then mark my words, we will. Let nobody in and think that's an economy that would work.
That net migration will fall every year between now and the next election, come what may?
Well, I'm promising it will fall significantly, and I do want to get it down by the end of this Parliament significantly. That is what this plan is intended to achieve, the complete opposite of what you saw in the last 4 years. It is frankly incredible that net migration quadrupled in 4 short years to nearly 1 million. This white paper, these plans bring it back into control. Thank you very much. Thank you.
One of the biggest challenges, the standard qualifying period for settlement in the United Kingdom has doubled from 5 years to 10. Also, tougher English language requirements are now embedded into the visa system. Applicants and their dependents will now be assessed on improvements in their language skills over time. Meanwhile, India and China dominate the United Kingdom's overseas student visa numbers. Now, the popular graduate route visa, which currently allows students to stay in the UK for 2 years after completing their degree, is being cut to just 18 months. Sanam Arora, who is the chair of the National Indian Students and Alumni Union UK, said, "While we are relieved that the graduate route has been preserved, albeit with a reduced duration, we urge that its implementation and that of the wider reforms be approached with care, clarity and collaboration." The NISAU flagged major concerns over the impact on Indian students who are the largest users of the graduate route. The organization said panic must not be allowed to set in among current and prospective students. Immediate clarity is needed on who's affected and how. They also urged for better coordination between student and skilled worker visas, both categories dominated by Indian applicants. Arora further added, "We are pleased to see recognition of our long-standing calls for better alignment between immigration and skills, and we strongly support the push for greater transparency and accountability in education agent practices, for which we have laid out very clear asks." The skilled worker route, which is widely used by Indians, will now face tougher minimum salary requirements. This move is seen as a step to restrict low-wage immigration, but critics warn it may block access for legitimate workers needed in key sectors. A major shock, the health and care worker visa led by Indian and South Asian workers is set to be axed for new applicants. The UK government says this is to prevent rising exploitation in the sector. But critics argue. Dr. Dora Olivia Vaikol, who is the CEO of the Work Rights Centre, said the closure of the health and care worker visa to new applicants has been framed as a response to growing exploitation, but with the numbers of visas granted to first-time entrants already dwindling, it is but a distraction. Because of this failed visa scheme, thousands of migrant care workers already in the UK are facing destitution, and the government is yet to offer them any workable support. What they need is not more hostility and victim blaming, but the flexibility to take their skills to the businesses that need and value them. She also slammed the longer settlement timelines. She warned more people will be put at risk of falling into insecure immigration status, putting them at greater risk of exploitation and potentially even increasing the number of people with undocumented status. From Downing Street, Starmer defended the sweeping changes. He said, as the white paper sets out, every area of the immigration system, be it work, family and study, will be tightened up so we have more control. And he warned that without the reforms, the UK risks becoming an island of strangers. As Britain closes doors, Indian students and workers may have to rethink their plans. Will this white paper bring control or just more chaos? For more updates on UK's new immigration rules, stay tuned to the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express.